Talkers. This is Joseph Walsh from xratestock.net, back at the film society, back at Lincoln Center's Film Society. I almost said Film Forum. I'm getting dopey. I'm back up at Lincoln Center for the New York Film Festival, the 54th New York Film Festival. This is day 5 for me, day 7 overall for the festival. I just got done watching Kanji Mizoguchi's masterpiece, Ugetsu Monogatari, which loosely translates to Tales of Rain and Moonlight. It's one of his most famous works, might be his most famous work. I just witnessed the new 4K DCP restoration of the movie, and I gotta say, it looks absolutely stunning. I've seen other restorations of the movie in the past. Criterion has a great Blu-ray out currently, and I'm sure they're gonna update it now that this version's been completed, but it just looks absolutely beautiful. The blacks are pitch black. It really does a great service to the great Mizoguchi. For those of you who aren't familiar with the movie, it's most famously known as a ghost story. That's sort of underselling it. It is a ghost story in certain regards. It's also a great example of what's known as the jidaigeki, Japanese genre. Jidaigeki refers to period piece, but it mostly refers to samurai films. So, they also included action in cinema, but it could also just be story of feudal Japan in period costume. This is a movie that's ostensibly about well, it's about war and it's about ghosts, but it's really about greed and the bitter ends that greed lead to ultimately. It's about two farmers. One's also a potter, and war is slowly coming to their village. The potter sees an opportunity to profit off the war by mass producing what was a hobby. He now mass produces his wares, and he goes to the town to sell them. His neighbor farmer dreams of being a great samurai warrior. So both men become consumed by their wants, by their lusts. They don't begin as lusts per se. They begin as one man seeks glory in combat, and the other one just seeks profit. But they're both doing it basically they're both doing it really to make money, but to also to be good husbands, to provide for their wives, and they ultimately lead to tragic ends. I don't like giving away the plots of movies just in case people haven't seen them yet, so I won't go into detail about it. I will say, anybody who knows Mizoguchi knows that he made mostly tragic dramas. So it's not a happy movie, but it's an intense film. It's a very personal movie. It's very heartbreaking, and most of his films most of Mizoguchi's cinema can serve as a void contest. I mean, if you feel nothing at the end of these movies, then you're just made of stone. There's such tragic love letters to the human race, our frailties, our flaws, how we can be at our best when things are at their worst. But usually they lead to very tragic ends. Lessons learned, not a nihilistic overview of the world. Nihilistic, I'm sorry. Listen, I woke up at 10 a.m. today. It's Saturday. Don't expect me to pronounce everything correctly. You're lucky I'm here. I'm lucky I'm here. So yeah, it's one man becomes entranced by what may or may not be a spirit from the other world, but really she's sort of a metaphor for his vanity. He becomes sort of enraptured by the idea of his own glory through what once was a hobby and something to make a couple extra bucks. He now becomes consumed by the vanity of his craftsmanship. It could actually stand as a metaphor for the artist going down the wrong road. The other man finally becomes, well, I won't give anything away, but he actually follows his dream of becoming a samurai warrior. And again, I won't give anything away about the plot or how it winds up, except to say that it is a morality tale. But most of the films that I've witnessed anyway from Mizoguchi, I'm not a scholar, Lord knows I'm not an academic about anything, but his films are very often, what I've experienced anyway, to be morality fables. And this is one of the best ones. If you haven't seen anything by Kanji Mizoguchi, this is a great place to start. It came in the third wave of his career. He began in the 30s, and in the 40s he made films for the Japanese censors during the war. And then in the 50s he had a new flourish A lot of it was due to the fact that Akira Kurosawa broke Japanese cinema on the world stage. So did Donald Ritchie. I gotta say, he was a big proponent in making that happen. But you know, suddenly the West was discovering Japanese filmmaking that had been around for decades, and a new market emerged. And Mizoguchi made some of his best works in that period. He made, well, The Life of Oharu would be one of his other most famous works, and that was also made in the 50s. So you can really start anywhere with his stuff. I was grateful. I was very grateful to be able to attend the complete retrospective that occurred at Moving Image 2 years ago. And I got to see a lot of his stuff. The Crucified Lovers. Oh my God, Sancho the Bailiff, which, again, that is a void contest if there ever was one. If you feel nothing watching that movie, then you are made of ice. And he was not a very happy man, as his cinema bears out. But he was somebody who was able to use his pain to make great art. You know, that doesn't not forgives this word I'm looking for. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't make up for the fact that he lived a sad life, but at least he left us some beautiful, beautiful cinema. Beautiful looking cinema. He's famous for the unbroken, fluid take, something that Maxwell Fools also was very enamored of. And I'm not, you know, I'm nowhere near the level of somebody like David Bordwell to go into, you know, the academics of why he did what he did. I always liken it to, or I came to understand in my own way, why he filmed the way he did. Because it's something Frank Sinatra said. Sinatra was famous, you know, in his heyday, in his prime, for being able to hold a note longer than any other singer. And when he was approached about it once by a writer, they asked him if it was that was just merely for gimmick's sake, and he said no. He said there are certain lyrics that you have to complete the sentence in a breath. If you look at the lyrics, this is the way it was intended. And he used the example of Fools Rush In, where other singers might take a break in the middle and take a breath. Fools rush in where wise men fear to go. Breath. But wise men never fall in love, so how are they to know? Sinatra made the case that you can't take a breath in the middle of that. It's one line. It's intended, the person who authored that intended it to be one unbroken line. Fools rush in where wise men fear to go, but wise men never fall in love, so how are they to know? See that? You got a bonus singing performance from Joey Boy. But that's the way I look at the unbroken, moving take from someone like a Maxwell Fools or Mizoguchi. They look at the scene and they look at the way the drama's unfolding in that scene. They say, how can I take a break? How can I make a cut? You know, it's one take. And it has to move. It has to take you into the room or into the shadows or wherever it's leading you. He's made some of the most beautiful cinema. I implore you, if you're unfamiliar with Mizoguchi's work, I hadn't seen a single one of his films until about 5 years ago, and I can't get enough now. His work is just, it's beautiful and it's deep and it's sad, but it's profound too, and it's really worth checking out. So anyway, yeah, so I'm sticking around up here against their better judgment, these guys. Henry Hathaway's Niagara. What is basically his Hitchcock film. A lot of people say it's the best Hitchcock movie Hitchcock never made, although a lot of people say Charade by Stanley Donen is that film. Well, Niagara's going to be screening later in a brand new, I believe it's a brand new restoration. It's a brand new print of the movie anyway, but it's showing at the newly renovated Walter Reed Theater. If you haven't been up here in quite some time, they just renovated the Walter Reed after 25 years. So I'm going to get to see it and hear it and witness it and nestle into those seats after a brand new renovation. So I'm looking forward to the theater and I'm looking forward to the movie. And the Hathaway series, there are plenty of seats, there are plenty of tickets available to all this stuff. So if you haven't gone online to see what's screening up here, there's plenty more in the Hathaway series, and there's plenty more in the pre-Nouvelle Vague French retrospective. There's a lot more coming up in the revivals. One-Eyed Jacks is screening tomorrow at noon, the brand new restoration of One-Eyed Jacks from the Film Foundation, if I'm not mistaken. That's screening tomorrow. That's always been a favorite of mine. I always thought it was a very underrated movie. I'll be talking about that. I'll be doing one more of these YouTube things tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to sign off and go grab a cup of coffee and wait for the 3:45 showing of Henry Hathaway's Niagara with a just pre-stardom Marilyn Monroe, as Jackie Gleason would say it. So anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. This is Joe Walsh up at the Film Society saying, stick with me, Stalkers.